Today we're going to put some fancy parts on a basic bike. Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. Today we're going to do some updates on this Suzuki DR650 I got behind me. This is a friend's motorcycle. I've been trying to talk him into selling it to me for quite some time because it's been sitting for a couple of years. I've been registered since 2015, and he picked this bike up for a pretty fair deal, and it came with a lot of goodies. And if you know anything about a DR650, you can already see it has a updated front end. This is from a Suzuki RMZ450. And we've got a skid plate and these little armor pieces on it. But other than that, it's mostly stock. Different handlebars. But with this front suspension, it really overtaxes the rear shock. So this is a Elka shock, a company called Elka, E-L-K-A, that we are going to put on this bike. And we're also going to install this Mikuni TM40 pumper carb, which is a very popular upgrade on these motorcycles. And I'm waiting for the aftermarket tank to show up. That should be here in a couple days, hopefully. And we'll get that installed. But we're going to start with that shock because that's going to be the hardest thing to do. This bike has been sitting for about, well, as long as it hasn't been registered, about 5 years or so. And I have already gone through it and got it running. I should have made a video on that, but you know, the usual carburetor clean, flushed out the fuel tank. She started right up, runs okay. But since he has this pumper carb, we're going to install it. So let me get this bike set up. I'm going to pull the seat off and the side covers. If you don't already know how to do that, well then maybe you shouldn't be looking into doing a shock. It's pretty easy. It's right here and right here. All right, I lied a little bit. It's not that bolt. It's underneath the side cover. I knew that right after I said it too. So I thought I would admit my mistake. Next, we're going to take the tank off, these two bolts, and of course disconnect all the lines, the fuel lines and stuff. I think I'm going to take the carburetor off first just because that might get us some more room. I might take the carburetor off and this airbox boot, but the top bolt for the shock is way up in here. Right in there. I don't know how well you can see it. But carburetor removal is just going to be a Phillips screw there, and a couple of 10 millimeters. And we'll take that off. Okay, now with those items out of the way, you can see the top of the shock pretty decent. Move some of these wires. There's the top bolt. And then the bottom mounts on a linkage down here. So I am hoping that I can just disconnect one side of this linkage, maybe this one right here, and then the bottom bolt of the shock as well, and the whole linkage maybe will swing out of the way. Otherwise, I'm going to have to take that bolt out of the linkage. It's not a big deal either way. I might just pull the whole thing out anyway. That way we can check it all, make sure it's all clean. So I'm going to remove that bolt, and then we'll see what has to come off down here, and I will let you know. Okay, I have removed the entire linkage down here. As you can see, I got this thing on a stand, lifted up quite a ways, and I even tucked the rear wheel once I get that off. Now, we'll see if this thing can slide out of here through the bottom. I guess it does. Yeah, gently remove it, and there you go. So now, we're going to look at this new one. This thing looks beautiful. Look at that. It's got a remote reservoir on it. The shock's not terrible, and I bet if you took it in and had some work done on it, it probably would be okay. But this one's better. It's supposed to be a direct bolt in. Now the only thing I don't know is which way I should put that. I looked at a couple pictures online and people were mounting the reservoir right here. So I'm gonna slide it up in there this direction first, and I really can't hold this and hold the camera at the same time, and kind of limited in my space here. So I'll get it up in there and I'll pop the top bolt in and we'll take a look at it. Okay, I installed it with the reservoir hose, I guess, on the passenger side. It's not a passenger side. On the right hand side, this hose is pretty long, so it swings up and over. And the pictures I saw online had our adjustment mounted right here like this. Pretty close to that anyway, so I just have one hose clamp that kind of fits it for now, but that's just kind of getting an idea. So I guess it's good that I'm doing the carburetor now, even though I'm kind of upset at my buddy because I got this one all cleaned up and had the bike running, and we're just gonna throw it in the parts bin. But at this point, I think I'm going to install this air boot, see how much clearance we've got. The top of the shock has just got a bolt in it, it's not tight yet. And make sure everything is gonna clear around all this. Throttle cables and all that sort of stuff. So we'll start by installing this air boot first, which is gonna be a massive pain in the ass, I believe. But we'll see. Okay, that was a little bit of a struggle getting that thing in there, but everything appears to fit pretty good. The throttle cables come in on this side, so this high pressure hose or whatever from the remote reservoir should not have any issues with the throttle cables, which I can't use, the original ones. So fortunately I do have some new ones. We'll make sure those fit. And then I am gonna go ahead and get everything finalized. We'll clean this linkage up, get that installed down here. Probably do that first in case I have to move something around. And I'll come back at you here in just a few minutes. Let's get in here now. There you go, all cleaned up, bolted back together. I took this whole linkage apart, pushed the sleeves out, put some fresh grease in there. Something you should do regularly anyway, so the fact that we had it apart was good. One thing I noticed different on this shock, besides all the obvious differences, is that the bolt right there that goes through the bottom, on the factory shock, let me bring it over here. On the factory shock, it is threaded. See the threads in there on one side? And on this aftermarket one, it isn't. So I stuck a nut on there for now, but that bolt's not long enough, so this will be enough to ride it around the neighborhood or something, but we're gonna have to change that bolt out. And I have a lot of bolts laying around here, but I wanna make sure we get a good hardened bolt for that instead of just grabbing one out of my stash. So I've got the carburetor all tightened down. This clamp, this one here was a pain in the butt. I kind of had to flip it around from where it was because there's a limited clearance on the bottom here. So getting the bolt in up there was kind of a pain. And then I zip tied this hose up and out of the way of our throttle. And I just put some zip ties on it for now because that hose clamp that I had was too short. So I'm gonna have to order a couple of hose clamps as well. But we're waiting on the tank. So next I'm gonna install the proper throttle cables, which I got laying right here. Now I'm just waiting on a tank here. I really want to hook it up and ride it, but I flushed this fuel tank out a couple times, and even after doing that, still some gross stuff coming out of there, so I'd prefer not to contaminate that brand new carburetor. I don't like cleaning brand new carburetors, but we got the shock installed. We'll see about getting some hose clamps for that and this tank, and then we'll finish this video up with a test ride. Yeah, look at what the magic truck dropped off. We got it. I think it's the tank anyway. Let's open it up and take a look. It's like Christmas morning. A knife. parts and I didn't have to pay for them. It's an unboxing video. Paper. Look at that. That's beautiful, huh? Nice big IMS tank. Let's see. Ooh, it's got all the goodies down here underneath. All right, we'll get it out of here and take a look. I was just thinking, I've had a lot of these kind of tanks on dirt bikes and stuff, aftermarket tanks, but I don't think I've ever bought a brand new one. So look at all the goodies you get. Go Fast stickers, brand new fuel, pet cock, you can say that, and all the mounting goodies. Pretty cool. So gonna have to read the instructions. I love how it says right here, drain fuel from OEM fuel tank into a government approved fuel container. I usually drain it into a ice cream pail. I think that's government approved. So we'll figure out how to put this together and then we'll install it on the bike. Man, that's pretty nice. Draining into a government approved container. And now you can see why I didn't want to hook this up to that carburetor. Gasoline is not supposed to be that color. And see them chunks down in the bottom. I didn't even shake it up before I did this. If I did, I'm sure more chunks would come out. Now we have to put these back on right here. I hate these things. They come off of here if you're moving the bike around. So I'm going to put a little bit of RTV on these just to hold them on here a little bit, so that way next time we take the tank off and on, they won't go anywhere. And I also just went to the hardware store and picked up some hose clamps so we can get rid of these zip ties. Let's see if we can get this video of installing this pièce de résistance. Yeah, I'm not very good with my French anymore. Oh, you know what? I think we might have to remove this this ugly thing here. But let's find out. It fits with it on there, but I think we can take that off. I'll take a look. I really like the way this bike looks with this aftermarket tank on here. Gives it a little bit more of a modern look, especially with this front end. If you had a different fender, I think we'd really be in there. And this exhaust kind of gives it that old schooly DR650 look, but I can't say too much because I don't like loud exhausts. So it does have that aftermarket, and I suggested we put it on just to see, but if it was too loud, then we would just have to take it back off. Personally, if it was me, I had a DR650 and I had what's known as the Gixxer exhaust can upgrade, where you take a exhaust pipe from a Gixxer 750, I believe it is, and then a custom mid pipe. It looks a lot nicer, and it's not loud at all. Maybe, you know, very slightly louder. But we're gonna get the side covers on here, put some fuel in here. Oh, get those hose clamps on there and take this thing for a test ride. I had this little small tip over valve I put on here instead of the long hose. So hopefully my buddy wants that. Otherwise I'll just take it and put the long hose on there for him. Okay, I just put fuel in it, so this will be the first time trying to start it. Let's see what happens. I apologize for the noise. It's been raining a lot here, so let's see what happens. That's nice. Choke is on, so let's see what happens when we shut her down. Might have to bump the idle up a little bit. I'll turn that a little bit. Let's see what happens. Cold engine, started right away. Not too bad. All right, so I've got my safety shorts and safety shoes on. I'll put a helmet on with the GoPro and we'll take her around the block, see how it does. Okay, let's see how she goes. I got a couple things going against me here. We're out of date and I got no speedometer. I don't know how much fuel I put in here, but it should be enough for a trip around the neighborhood. Look at the cat. As punchy as I figured it would. I wonder if it needs some rejetting. Yeah, it'll lift the front wheel. Overall, pretty pleased. I'm going to ride it some more. See how that carburetor feels. I mean, it barely even got warmed up. And it was easy to pick up the front wheel. I was really laying back on it because of my safety gear and being on that road without not too much visibility. Biggest issue I have so far with this bike is the way this thing is sitting. So I'm going to try to push that in, see if there's a way I can make that sit in a little flush that hits right on my leg. So if it was in a little bit, probably wouldn't notice it. So let's reposition that and we'll come on back. There we go, that's better. Tucked in. I'm gonna put some short zip ties around these ends to kind of keep them tucked in so your boot doesn't catch on those or your pants or something. But overall, pretty pleased with this bike now. And I know I have a motorcycle problem already, but I sure wouldn't mind having this thing in my stable right now. This is a really nice bike, and I didn't even really pay much attention to the rear suspension, so I'm probably going to take her for another trip after I put some safety gear on and pull some more wheelies and enjoy it. But she's a beaut. If I had her, get some sort of a speedometer thing on here somewhere and call her pretty good. Maybe get a set of Supermoto wheels as well. New front fender. It's limitless. All right. If you're digging what I'm putting out, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. Thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.